country whose GDP's average of 10% for the past 20 years is undergoing the most rapid industrialization the world has ever seen. This is opportunity China. As you know, my name is Vernon Kerswell, so thank you very much, Henry, for having me today. It's really great to be here with such like-minded entrepreneurs as yourself. Now, I said I wasn't going to use PowerPoint, so I'm not. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a couple of videos I want to show you. And that'll come up here in a second. Anyway. So I started Extreme Fliers 2 years ago whilst I was a student at university. Now, I always wanted to start my own business in terms of, you know, I wanted to go out there. I went to university as a passion to learn the skills I needed for life. You know, I wanted to learn how to run a business. And I'm sure all you here today, you all want to start your own business, yeah? Is that right? And that's the general feeling for everyone here. So it's great to have this community of yourselves who want to be here. So I thought, well, you know, China is all about, you know, it's the most exciting place to be right now in this world if you want to start your own business. So when I was at the end of my first year, I decided to go to China because everything's made in China. You know, these computers are made in China. You know, most of your clothes are made in China. Everything's made in China. So I went out there and not really knowing what I wanted to do. Actually, I took a one-way ticket to Beijing, and this is at the end of my first year, and I had £1,500 in my overdraft. So I took a crash course in Chinese, took a £1,500 overdraft at a gamble to go to China, and then went out there for 3 weeks. When I went to Beijing, obviously did a little bit of research on factories out there. Turned up to the airport and got in a taxi and said, you know, take me to a factory. And the taxi driver said, well, every building is factory. So I said, great, it's fantastic. So for 3 weeks, I spent time looking at factories, all sorts of different manufacturers of every kind of product. And as an entrepreneur, you want to know what area you want to be in to start your own business. And in a way, what I did was actually the reverse of what most people would want to do. They would normally have an idea, have a product, and then take it out to China and make it. But I had no idea. I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I went out there, and it was a massive fact-finding mission. I went to factories which made you know, home appliances, computers, technology, car industries, everything you can imagine. And that's, as an entrepreneur, something you need to decide what you want to do. So how do you go about finding an opportunity? Now, opportunities are everywhere. Opportunities, this is Opportunity China, and everywhere in the world there are huge opportunities. I want to just tell you a little bit about, you know, just as an example of how to find an opportunity. Last week, the UK government, in part of the, into a bid to try and revive the economy, said we want to give £2,000 for someone to buy a new car, because obviously the car industry is suffering a lot. And a few years ago, I don't know if you know about the collapse of MG Rover. Everybody knows MG Rover, right? It's a manufacturer of cars. And they went bust a few years ago. It was a terrible loss for the country. And as an individual wanting to find an opportunity, this presents a huge opportunity. Because it links into China as well. Because Rover was closed down, the factory was shut out, everything was sold off. But what happened was a company in China called Nanjing Automotive Corporation. They bought it. They bought the skeleton of Rover, they bought its heritage, their equipment, everything about it, and they shipped the carcasses out to their factory in China. Now, in terms of an opportunity right now, and I think this is a great opportunity because if I was in the automotive industry, this is what I'd be doing. But it helps you to understand how to get an opportunity. This £2,000 to buy a new car. You know what, if that £2,000 was given to someone when just before Rover was about to close, it would have saved Rover, but it was closed down. And now, so if you were to buy a car made by Nanjing Automotive Technology, which is a Rover, you can basically buy a Rover, bring them, it's an opportunity to bring cars from China to the UK, sell them, and get get £2,000 to sell them. So if you're an entrepreneur wanting to sell cars, it's a fantastic opportunity. Because now, if Mrs. Jones wants to buy a new car, you know, she's got an old car, now she can get £2,000 to buy a new one. Sounds good to me. So that's an opportunity. I want to tell you a little bit about Extreme Fliers. Because following on from China, I brought the products to market and went out there to factories to develop my own product. I'd like to show you one actually. And this is our big product for 2009. This is the world's first, well, this is a remote-control car. And this is not just a normal one-control car, because this car can drive a horse. You put a horse and you drive you around. So, good idea. And it's a little idea which is great, called the World by Surprise. And if you were watching the Top Gear just before Christmas, you probably saw this.
Turn them on, they make a bit of a dim because, for reasons we can't work out, they stick to vertical surfaces and then you can drive them about. Now, this is great, okay, this is fantastic. Except, of course, us three decided to see how big the range was. Earlier in the week, we decided to try them out by seeing how high up the side of the BBC we could get them to go. So, if you watched the one show last night, you probably saw this. Okay, because they're in the office above us.
Every other kind of store try really hard this time of year to stop us counting the pennies in favour of throwing fine man.